I'm an investor in startups. So my life and what I do is to put money into teams and companies that are dreaming big about the future.
On my phone, watching how an electric car is being flown into space and doing a live broadcast.
Yeah.
This is a crazy time to live in.
Yeah. I have a tremendous luxury of spending my days in that little bubble.
What is the hottest thing going on right now? But don't say AI.
Keep people healthy longer. A kid 14 years old in Moldova has access to the same models as, Elon Musk in the US. Everyone, when they describe their time, they said, and this was like a constant, the rate of change has never been as fast as now, right?
Yes. Salut, prieteni! Suntem într-un nou episod al podcastului Rethink IT, aici în oficiul Moldova Innovation Technology Park și următoarele două episoade, ca și precedentul, vor fi și ele în limba engleză, așa că o să fac acum trecerea la limba vorbită internațional ca să vă prezint noul nostru oaspete. And today I have the pleasure and the honor to have one of the people who visited us for Startup Summit Moldova. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's an investor and the former CEO of Sting. And I always found it a little weird when people are getting called serial entrepreneur, when usually after serial comes another word. Krim, very happy to have you here. Welcome to Moldova. Like we discussed before the podcast, I want us to just talk about what's going on, what's changing, how things are evolving. But before we get to it, tell me about the summit, what you enjoyed, what you discovered there, and maybe if you've taken something with you from it.
Yeah, it was. It's my first trip to Moldova, and we are part of a program that is set up by the National Board of Trade in Sweden called Tech Step Sweden, and my role is to mentor companies within the health tech space. So I had the pleasure to mentor a couple of Moldovan companies already before I came here.
Oh, nice.
So I had made like the first acquaintances and was introduced, and I knew that the level is very good. And my impression from the summit was that it just reiterated that Moldova is really moving within the startup space. It was actually, we started already the day before the actual summit. So we had 1 day of pitching from 20 companies, and the level was insane. It was insanely good. It was really, really good. Everyone was super well prepared, and the scope of the businesses pitching was really impressive. So everyone was blown away in the jury. So the level is really, really good. And then we enter into the actual event, and it
very
was
flashy.
And packed with people, young people, hungry people that wants to do stuff. So it's super refreshing. I'm really impressed and happy to be able to be here and actually see it.
I'm guessing you also participate or people pitch to you directly in Sweden.
Yeah.
What difference do you notice, if there is any, in how they approach it? Maybe they focus on different things. Maybe the overall approach to pitching is different.
What was refreshing here was that everyone was really forward-leaning. People was just grabbing me after the event and took me to the side. Can I pitch? Can we talk for just 5 minutes? And they instantly started pitching.
Okay.
And they were fearless, and that was really refreshing to see.
So basically, if we were to compare it to someone closer to real life, it would be like if you were a famous pop star in the US and you go and you have a concert, everyone in the audience is like, yeah, okay, this is nice music.
Yeah.
I paid $50 and I'm listening to Lady Gaga sing. And then if you bring Lady Gaga here, everyone would go crazy, like, oh my God, Lady Gaga's here. It would be something like that.
No, but I think when I'm walking around an event in Sweden, people are a little bit more, it takes a little bit of courage to actually just walk up to someone and grab them and start
Because
pitching.
they're Nordic people, they're more reserved, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And so that was super refreshing. They were really courageous, forward-leaning, and they were going for it.
What specifically out of the pitches, what company kind of winked at you more?
There was one company that I really liked. They actually ended up winning the pitching competition. It was an AI company, but there was a broad scope of companies pitching. There was also a company that I loved that was using musical lyrics to teach languages, which was brilliant. And the way they set it up, that founder, he started this as a side hustle, and he managed to find an influencer, that influencer just put up a post, and now it's kind of just taking off. And he had great traction. They are making money, and it was a super promising.
For me, it's such a weird idea. Like, it would be hard for me to be a jury in this case because it feels like I'm a millennial. So it feels like, 2010s up to like 2016, every single day there were like millions of gadgets and ideas. And at this point, I was just like, oh no, it's another idea.
Yeah.
What else do we need?
Yeah.
How do you, on the opposite side, actually focus on this? Actually sounds like something that might get picked up upon.
Yeah. Now, for my personal, I have a thesis. I invest. Of course, I have kind of a broad scope, but if I'm generous, I still have an investment thesis, and I invest mainly in the health and life science space, and there I have an idea of what healthcare will look like in the future. We all know that healthcare has, we all have the same basic challenge, that healthcare cost is increasing almost exponentially, while the resources that we have to put in to address that problem
Even
is
human resources.
Yeah, the taxable incomes that we see is flatlining. So there's a gap here between the cost and the amount of resources we are able to put in. And that kind of puts a frame or a straitjacket on the whole field. So we can expect nations to put in even more money into this field. Today in Western Europe, we are using approximately 9% of GDP into healthcare, and in the US it's the double. And now that budget is competing also with the defense budget that is supposed to go up, and still
Which in the US is also a little higher.
Yeah. So we can't expect more money flowing into this space. So this puts a pressure and a straitjacket on this field, and that.
So you're kind of trying to push it forward.
So we have to push it forward, and you have to have an idea of what healthcare will look like in the coming decade. And I think I have this hypothesis on a high level that the future of healthcare is characterized by 4 Ps. So it will be predictive, preventive, participatory, and personalized.
That's
so
great.
preventive, we have to address problems before they are it's too late.
Which
Predictive,
is still not happening. We still like to get sick first.
Yeah. And predictive, we have to use data in order to be able to do that. Participatory, we have to enable the citizens or patients to take a greater responsibility for their own health through technical solutions, and it has to be personalized. And out of that high-level thesis, I use that as like a general criteria for okay, this company, what they are doing, does that fit with my idea of the future for this space? And so that is how I'm trying to orient myself. But of course, I'm also an opportunist. So I'm interested and I'm curious. So I'm interested in a lot of fields. And if you look at my actual portfolio, okay, I have one of my target areas is health and life science, but I also do deep tech and I do some lifestyle. So basically that covers
I mean, you don't
everything.
keep all your eggs in one basket.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, let's stay here at health tech a little bit. I know there was at least one yesterday at Startup Moldova Summit, but generally health tech, from what you see, in Sweden and all over, because I'm guessing you also follow the news of what's up and coming in terms of health tech. What is the hottest thing going on right now? But don't say AI.
Yeah. For me, I think we have a renaissance within the health and life science space. It's being reframed now towards something called longevity. But longevity is basically just, which fits very well with this 4 Ps. It's basically trying to keep people healthy longer. And that's the longevity field. But there's a lot of exciting stuff going on there. You have new longevity clinics, which in itself is preventative care or preventive health. And then you have a tail of that goes into the biotech space. And people are now exploring new modalities that is super promising and exciting. And then you have new clinics popping up with new type of treatments, and you have in the tail of that you have a peptide hype now after the GLP drugs was introduced. So I think this is a super exciting space to watch, and
everybody wants to live forever.
Yeah, it's a lot of promise. Yeah, at least everyone wants to stay healthy longer.
Yeah.
But
so at the same time, we also have all these influencers and fake clinics and fake promises of you living forever and staying healthy. And even on a series that we discussed before the show, there was one patient who came in all yellow and they couldn't figure out what it was until one of the doctors was like, "So you're a vegan, huh?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm a vegan and I follow all these influencers and all these programs and blah, blah, blah. And I'm so healthy." And she's like, "Obviously you're not, because you're in the emergency room and you're yellow."
Yeah.
So they figured out she was consuming too much turmeric. And that's what almost killed her liver, because, she overdosed. So you're not a doctor, but like if we were to speculate, like where does the science and speculation kind of differentiate?
I mean, as soon as you have a new field that is surging, you are in need of curated science-based guidance, and that is it's difficult also in this media landscape to navigate What is fact-based? What is just bro science?
Yeah, there's a lot of it now.
There's a lot of it, and it's tricky to navigate. But I think there's initiatives being set up in order to provide that curated and go-to science-based, fact-based actors in this space.
We were talking how kids that you met here, and in general, kids like high schoolers, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, are really going out. They're like
Yeah.
they're all over the place. They grew up with technology that we discovered. For them, it's something normal. AI is for them like TVs were for us growing up. So in their case, the ideas that they have, and them being a different generation, even culturally, I'm guessing there would be an explosion of things that would make us go, what?
Yeah.
What did you invent?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because in my experience, I teach at the university, I find them not willing to put in the work until it's absolutely like, once they've reached the limit of what they think is necessary, that's it. You can't force them to be workaholics like the previous generations and whatnot. So I call it laziness, but not as an offense, more like a way of thinking, because everyone says boredom is the best source of inspiration, because we need to get bored.
Yeah.
This doesn't help us get bored.
No.
So them being lazy in this way, I'm guessing they will find so many ways of skipping steps into what you have to do and reinvent in a few years, maybe the whole tech space. Especially since you mentioned that AI has democratized access to all kinds of technologies now.
Yeah.
If you could expand on that a little bit.
No, I think so. One reflection that I had yesterday at the event was that I was approached by kids that were still in high school. That was, they were there at the event. They wanted to build stuff. They were like super engaged, and that's quite exciting because and they were building, and it's quite exciting because AI is in a way leveling the playing field. A kid 14 years old in Moldova has access to the same models as Elon Musk in the US, and that opens up the playing field and enables a lot of people to be able to build exciting
It's
stuff.
a paradigm shift.
Yeah, and that is exciting. That is promising. But of course, I mean, I'm 50 years old. I have 3 kids. It's really difficult for me to give any guidance to them because I think it's interesting. You said they are a little bit lazy, but my question is, do we really have access to their world? Do we know what they are doing in the time when they are not doing the tasks that you gave them in school? They do just enough to keep you fairly happy.
Yeah.
And then they don't do more. But maybe their headspace is somewhere else. Maybe they are working on something else. Maybe they are thinking about something else. And I don't think that I am the right person to answer those questions because I don't have access to their world completely. So we will just have to wait and see what they come up with.
And it's interesting because, my mom would always know where I was when I was growing up. She knew I was on the street because that's where I was supposed to be,
Yeah.
not go any further.
Yeah.
Whenever she would need to check on me, she would just come out, see me. I know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But now it's like this labyrinth of, even if you were to pull out your phone right now and we would just be scrolling, I would have no idea what you're looking at.
But your mother didn't know what you were doing.
She had a rough idea.
She had a
He's
general
playing.
idea.
Yeah, yeah.
But you did a lot of stuff that you didn't tell your mom and that she didn't know.
Yes, obviously.
Right. Yeah. And it's obviously the same with our kids.
I think they're compartmentalizing, that's a complicated word.
Yeah.
Somehow, like, this is how much energy I'm reserving for work. This is for studying. And I keep this to myself.
Yeah.
And I decide what I want to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, I think, what I notice is different because in my at least in my bubble, the effect would be, this is work, this is study, and maybe I leave a little bit for myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
To just drink a glass of wine and watch a movie at night.
Yeah.
That's it.
And they have the wisdom to put that on its head.
I
So
just
maybe
hope
that's a good thing.
I just hope
if they don't miss out on actually, I think there's a value in actually, getting the basics right, knowing knowing enough of the world in order to orient yourself. So of course there's a need, a huge need for formal education still. But maybe that will be done with new delivery methods, with new modalities.
the result matters and not the process, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we will see where we end up. But I mean, I can just watch myself. Of course, I also acknowledge that this phone that I have, it distracts my mind. It steals attention, and it affects my ability to see clearly. At least I think so. But I mean, maybe we are the least equipped because we grew up
Playing with sticks.
Yeah, and maybe this next generation will be better equipped to, and of course we will move towards solutions where we find help to get less distracted by our devices. And I think when you talk about this new generation, there is also trends now that people are doing more stuff together. They are meeting up.
They care about community
and hang
a lot.
out. Yeah, they care about community. They hang out in real life. I think maybe we will see new trends and new forms of meeting each other and communicating with each other.
I agree with you. Yesterday, I was invited by one of my students to a exhibit of graffiti.
Wow.
And I was like, 20 years ago, there wasn't an exhibit of graffiti.
No.
You could either do it at risk of being caught by police
Yeah.
and be punished, or you think this is ridiculous. Why would someone do it on a wall?
Yeah.
Leave the wall alone.
Yeah.
So now I was invited to an exhibit and I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. I don't understand,
Yeah.
but that's not for me.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
for them.
Yeah, yeah.
And they found, it was like 100 people there.
Yeah.
And they were talking about graffiti and how it's, Banksy probably had a lot to deal with it,
Yeah, yeah.
to do with it, which he's been unmasked,
Yeah.
by the way, finally. So it's kind of like we take what was done before us and we reshuffle it. And then we pick what we like and we see what we can do with it. Like universities are going to start the recruiting season soon, and I'm guessing this year in Moldova we'll see a big change in how we want to recruit this Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids by using their words, by using their colors, their shapes, their approach to life. Because, like in my case, when I wanted to go to the university, I just wanted to go to the university. It wasn't like a choice.
No.
You have to. But then I dropped out because I understood that I don't have to go to the university. I finished many, many years later. And in their case, they're like, yeah, I want to go to the university if. So they put an if in there. If there's great community, if there's great classes, great teachers, great this, great that. I was like, I was just happy to be enlisted. So this is what excites me most. Going back to startups.
Let me just, this is relevant to this whole thing that we were discussing about the pace of change, etc. But okay, so I wrote my dissertation. I'm an economist originally, so I did my PhD at Stockholm School of Economics. I wrote my PhD on monetary regime. So I was studying currency unions. And in Scandinavia, in the 18th century, we had the 19th century, we had the Scandinavian currency union. So during my PhD, I was sitting in archives, reading, political debates and newspaper, old newspapers from 1870.
On the big machine.
On the big machine, And one thing that was striking to me is that everyone, when they described their time, they said, and this was like a constant, the rate of change has never been as fast as now, right?
Yes.
And I think
we're constantly shocked at the rate of change.
We're constantly in this feeling of that the rate of change is faster than ever. Now, of course, so I always used to tell myself that this impression of our times will always be that times have never been changing this fast. But now I'm telling myself that, well, it's never changed this fast.
It is. Like, look, 20 years ago, Steve Jobs announced the iPhone. And now, not even now. What was it when SpaceX launched the Tesla in space? I was thinking, I think I was in Kansas or something. Like, I'm sitting in the middle of nowhere in Kansas on my phone. Watching how an electric car is being flown into space and doing a live broadcast. This is a crazy time to live in.
It is.
And that was like 2018, 19 when that happened. So now, like, just remember, ChatGPT came out at end of 2023. It was like, so he writes social media posts. Whatever. And now, with Claude Mythos, you can hack into any security system of any country like this 3 years later.
I know.
So we do have to admit that it's a little scary, though.
It is. We are in times that are, super exciting.
It's the Wild West.
And scary.
It's like, oh, there's something new over there. Let's go see what's... But you don't always want to necessarily see what's over there. There might be a big spider hiding behind that rock. So this shift is, if you open your eyes, wide enough and you can notice it, it's very exciting because you don't have to react in a defensive way. And a lot of us are reacting in a defensive way. Like we spoke before, there's media companies that refuse totally to use AI, or even IT companies that don't want to use AI. On my previous episode, I had a guy who their company does in logistics. And he said, one time I was having fun and I decided to use Claude to do my code, the whole software that they had.
Yeah.
And he did it in 4 hours.
Yeah.
And we're a company that's over 20 years old. And this guy did it in 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I did it for fun. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not like he was actually,
Yeah.
maybe he would have done it even faster
Yeah.
if he put more effort into it.
And that is, for me, that is super exciting. And I think I have the privilege. I'm an investor in startups. So my life and what I do is to put money into teams and companies that are dreaming big about the future. So I have a little of a disconnect with the world. So everyone is,
You're kind of dreaming a little bit, yeah, with them.
yeah. I think when we grew up, there was a lot of optimism. People were dreaming fantastic things about the future. We were reading science fiction. There was optimism when we were gazing into the future, right? And today, I mean, we have kind of it's a serious. I'm not delusional. We are facing a lot of challenges. We have terrifying wars going on, but at the same time, I'm spending my days with young people dreaming beautiful dreams about the future, and they are working now in projects that they will fulfill in 4 to 5 years with the dream of actually making fantastic changes in the future. So I only meet young people dreaming beautiful dreams
So you
about
get
the
their
future.
energy.
Yeah, I get the energy, and I get also a little bit of a disconnect because they are optimists. I mean, they see, but I mean, they are still dreaming of the future. So I think I have a tremendous luxury of spending my days in that little bubble.
But that's what so attractive about young people.
Yeah.
I mean, we were young. We were 20, we were 18, we were 16 once.
Yeah.
And we were also like,
Yeah.
go, go, go. I want to change the world. I
Yeah,
want to do
yeah.
this. I remember when we had political protests many years ago.
Yeah.
Someone once told me, you know why everyone protesting is always young? I was like, why? Because you always want to change the world and you don't care what happens to you.
Yeah.
Because you can't comprehend the long-term effects if a year ago you were just in school.
Yeah.
You think you've conquered the world when you graduate school.
Yeah.
And then you hit 30 and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
still so much more I need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it kind of dies off and you get more skeptical and more conservative and
you know how difficult things are.
yeah. And I say to my students, they're like, well, your generation was different. You wanted to prove yourselves, blah, blah, blah. We don't want to prove ourselves. We like the way we are. And I'm like, but how can you live with that?
Yeah.
It's like you gotta push
Yeah,
and struggle and fight against the system. And like, we don't have a system to fight against because you guys did it before us. So now we're witnessing the birth of a new one and we're building it.
Yeah.
So leave us alone.
Yeah.
It's our system.
Yeah.
And don't get involved. And it's always so funny. I wanted to hire one person and I'm like, where do you want to be in like, not like an interview question of where do you want to be in 10 years? Nobody knows where they want to be in 10 years.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. But like, what would make you happy about yourself in 10 years? Like,
yeah.
what do you imagine having or doing or something? And she's like, I don't care. Do you want to have money? She's like, maybe, maybe not. Do you want to have, a house or travel? Maybe, maybe not. Like, what's your drive? I don't have a drive. I want to work when I want to, and I want to have just enough money to do the minor things that I want to do in life.
And what was important
I
for
couldn't
him or
figure it
her?
out. I couldn't. Let's just say revolutionary, because we did a lot of protests. My revolutionary brain was expecting some sort of, jet energy coming out of her.
Yeah.
And then I realized that my expectations are too high and not the other way around, because why would I impose my view on what her life should be like? Maybe she needs to take her time, uh, and she'll figure it out or not. This is her decision.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's difficult to. Of course, it's difficult to also to ask the right questions, but it could be, a deep wisdom in that.
yes, it's like yoga stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know that what really makes me happy is walking barefoot in the grass with the sun in my face. That's really what makes me happy. I don't need another car, because now maybe she has, more or less the basics of what she need. So I don't know. It could be a
I get
wisdom
it.
in that.
I get
Yeah.
it, because you said the grass. I like in the morning to have my coffee on my terrace and look at the lake on the beach of
Yeah.
which I live. That's what I live for.
Yeah.
And if that paid me money,
Yeah.
I would do it all day.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, our generation
Yeah.
had to work our butts off for
Yeah.
whatever we have. So it's a constant. Like, I did a psychological test yesterday, and there were questions like, when you succeed in something, do you expect something to fail along the way? And I found myself saying yes to most of these
Yeah.
questions because of the time we grew up in Moldova. Because, we became independent 35 years ago, so that's not a long time.
No.
And then we had a lot of very weird, bad governments. So, there was no electricity or no water or
Yeah.
no gas or no money. People were buying stuff with, products.
Yeah.
And then all the Soviet enterprises were sold off to pieces. People
Yeah.
lost their jobs. And then the communists come,
Yeah.
and it's a whole different thing
Yeah.
for 8 years. And then we grow up and we protest and we change that. And then the guys who came in after them were not what we wanted. And then oligarchy became,
Yeah.
and again, something constantly changed. So I discovered in myself that I expect something to stand behind me and just smack me
Yeah.
whenever something successful happens.
Yeah.
But these kids now, 14, 16, 18 years old, they're like, I was in school when that happened. I didn't
Yeah.
feel it.
No.
Now everything's fine. We're a EU candidate country.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want. My passport takes me wherever I want.
Yeah.
I remember I had to go to any embassy, even Romania,
Yeah.
and stand in line and explain to the guy why I want to go to that country.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was a criminal because, so what are your plans? How long are you
Yeah,
staying?
yeah.
Blah, blah. Even now, when I went to Austria this winter, I think it was the first time in quite a few years when the customs officer asked me what's the purpose of your visit?
Yeah.
Like, where are you coming from and what are you going to do? I was like, wait, I'm not used to this question.
No.
I forgot what it means
Yeah.
to. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going skiing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, great. Where are you going? But I was still like,
In that mode.
yes, what? Why are you coming to my country?
Yeah.
So
But I came in 2 days ago to Moldova. I spent my days at this startup event. I met a lot of young people from Moldova during these days. And I don't think you have to be that worried, because my impression is that they are super forward leaning. They are building incredible stuff for the future. They have access to the same tools as developers in Sweden or in San Francisco. And they are, doing stuff and also beating competitors in these other markets. So you don't have to be that worried. And I think they will be inspirations to a lot of other young kids here.
I know, I can't wait.
So you should send everyone to this startup event.
Actually, I think this should be something like a school topic that they need to learn,
Yeah.
like pitching.
Yeah.
And education is currently changing in Moldova for the past few years, and the higher education and lower education as well is changing, and we need to adapt schools to the realities of the world. I don't know. Do they have a 4-day school day in Sweden, or is it only Finland?
4 day? No, we have 5 days.
Okay, I think Finland has
We need
4 days.
Yeah, but we need 5 days. In Finland, they're so smart. They don't need 5 days.
So, like, they grew up with Roblox and Minecraft and community and Discord and Reddit, and obviously they don't want to learn the system from when my mom was going to school.
Yeah.
Because it's not about them. So pitching and maybe some travel stuff, maybe forum ethics or whatever.
Yeah.
And they would be so excited to come to school.
Exactly.
Like in our school, I don't know how it works in Sweden. Our school system is basically you need to learn a little bit of everything. You can't choose what you want to learn.
No.
You have to study physics the same way as chemistry, the same way as geography, the same way as history. And you got to be good at all of them. And then in 10th grade, you decide if you want to go to more humanistic or math-oriented, STEM-oriented topics. But I think that's too late. Because they bombard you with, like, I sucked at physics. I had the worst grades in physics. Now I kind of like it, not the formula side. I'm like a big fan of astrophysics, but I wish I had the choice of saying, I don't want to learn physics. I don't care about chemistry. I want to learn more literature, for example. So the
more
school should be like,
personalized.
yes, here you go.
Yeah.
Study. But now then come the costs. So like a university is my client, and I was talking with them, and they were like, we want to provide these kids all of the options that they want. But then it's a matter of costs. So like if they want to study, let's go back to graffiti. If they want to study graffiti and get credits for it, great. Now I have to find a teacher. I have to pay him a yearly salary for it. It's not like a 2-month salary. Then I have to find the class, and I have to find the kids, and I have to spend money recruiting, and And if I only get 3, I'm just losing money.
Yeah. It's falling apart if you're trying to do something new, but with old tools. But I think with new tools, that will enable us to, in a very efficient way, actually cater for more personalization.
Like
more
AR, VR, or what?
Yeah. And you have access to the absolute top experts wherever you are. I mean, you can sit wherever you are and have access to top inspirational lectures.
MIT,
today.
Harvard, whatever.
Yeah. So
Coursera is great.
Yeah, exactly.
I had my kid study he thought he was playing, but he was studying doing Khan Academy. I love those, the way they developed it. And it's still an NGO. It's not like a corporation. And the way they made him learn math, and he couldn't really understand the question, but most of the time he would answer it correctly. I didn't want to ask him why, because he obviously didn't know why, but he was getting the information. And now, quizzes are fun, and we're going very far. All right, Krim, thank you for coming. Before the end, maybe you can have an advice for all the people that you've met and didn't catch necessarily your time at the event.
I don't know. Okay, my best advice to young people that wants to get into the startup world. Usually, I think one thing that you have when you're young is that, okay, maybe you don't have a lot of money, but you have a lot of time. So you have the luxury to be generous with your time. So if you want to get into the startup space, if you want to learn how to program, you can just show up and offer a company or a project your time. I don't need to get a lot of things back, but I'm willing to invest my time in order to learn and be part of something. And that is a good way to enter in. Another super important thing is to surround yourself with great people. And what is great people? Great people is people that is a little bit better than you, people that you look up to, and people that allow you to dream positive things about the future. You can sit together, you can talk about where you want to go, extraordinary things that you want to do without them embarrassing you or putting you down. So surround yourself with those type of people, and also be courageous. Because when you're young, you think that all of these people that you meet, that they are expert and know a lot of stuff that you don't know, and that could be a little bit intimidating. But be courageous. Say yes. If somebody says, "Okay, can you help me to do this?" Even if you feel that I really don't master this, be courageous and say yes, because you have to dare to put yourself in situations that are uncomfortable, and that will make you
That's
grow.
when your neurons shoot.
Yeah, exactly. And you will surprise yourself that you will be able to deliver stuff that you didn't even think yourself that you could do. And if you fail, that's not a problem. Life is long, and your life is full of second chances. You will fail so many times. That's not a problem. You will get second chances and third chances and fourth chances. So put yourself into situations that are intimidating and a little bit uncomfortable, and that will make you grow. So these three things, and even if you say yes to things and you fail, that's not a problem. You will get a second chance and a third chance.
That's a great advice. Thank you. Thank you for this conversation. I really enjoyed it. It was not what we were supposed to talk about today, but at least I hope someone that listens will understand that, we can talk about startups all day long, but we need to talk about where this energy is coming from and what's fueling it in the first place. So thank you for coming to Moldova.
Thank you.
And keep mentoring Moldovan startups.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Prieteni, până aici a mers episodul nostru de astăzi. Sper că v-a plăcut și ne vedem data viitoare cu un alt invitat foarte super și sunt sigur că mulți dintre voi au aplicația companiei pe care el o reprezintă la voi în telefon. Ne vedem data viitoare!